stupid right now, but hell, yeah, everyone, welcome back to the. We're gonna show a bit of the Minecraft server again, but yeah, train automation is very interesting how it works because, yeah, the basic thing how you need to keep in mind is that the whole idea of train control has stayed the same. It just improved basically just improved the method. All the don't do anything now.
I'm just looking at things.
Yeah.
Let me look at things.
Yeah, basically the whole idea was always a train runs in blocks. You know, like you distinct everything into a block, and then something says to you the block is open or the block is closed. If it's closed, you wait. If not, you go. This was in the first days it was like you have a singlet that you give to someone. Later on it was just someone and on the station, basically looking. Having a phone call, getting from another station that the train, went into this and this section, or this and this train arrived at the station. So they were like, okay, open or close the section. This was the big, the visual signals on the side of the track. That lifted or closed, and they were usually this was done by wires. By the way, they were not electrified. Those were wires. So this is why you had like really big levers in those stations, because you actually had to physically pull the wire on the lever so the signal changed. I'm not making this up. This is literally how that works. And it actually made total sense to do it that way because, well, if you're looking at, if you look at the most railway lines and when they were built and adopted some of those systems, electricity was, was still like in an infancy. So, telephones, that's easy to build. Like telephone lines, good. And those were still very rudimental. But also, motors and such, those could break easily in a lot of ways. A wire? Like a steel wire? That doesn't break that easily. That is robust. That actually works a long time.
You know what I've been asking myself for a while now? Why do I often don't like German named fantasy worlds?
You know what? You're currently changing everything about this discussion about automating
I thought
things.
we were done. So.
No, I wanted to get to the part about the automation and why it is still so hard.
Okay, then you talk.
Yeah. So the thing why it's so hard, basically to wrap it up, is the main difference between automation and the current systems. Basically, when you look at the old system with the blocks, this is efficient. Like you can actually make it very efficient, with modern systems where it's just lights and such. So again, we can have trains in a 5-minute interval. This is fucking fast, and every single system on this planet uses it usually, because also a lot of trains, for example, still have level crossings. Where basically, cars cross just on the same level, and then you just have like something come down and be like, "This is it," you stop, please. And there was like one intersection like that in Tokyo, which was infamous because the company that ran the railway line so frequently, like that basically I don't know how to put it, like the blockage for cars was up all the time. It was just horrendous until they were like, okay, we build a bridge. So like for frequent service, this is why, for example, high-speed railway is actually need, grade separation. This is what it's called. Like there should be no cars on the same level crossing a railway line, or pedestrians for that matter. Just don't do it. High-speed rail should be separated by design. But also, again, the whole electrical system kind of hard to actually manage that, because it still relies on a train arriving at the station and being like, I'm at the station now, and the block is free. And with electronics and automation, that goes fast. But what we're currently working on, which they also try to do on, the, oh, perfect, on our main railway lines, by the way, and I need to actually put everything up here again, so, dun, dun, dun. No, wait, wrong, that's the wrong person. Where are you? Where are you? There are you. Welcome back to the Minecraft server. Maybe we have some updates. So the main difference, and I've just found one picture of it, so I'm putting this up on the screen. This is like from the automation that they want to do here. As you can see, this small yellow box they're installing between the railways. This is the key to the future, because, and this is why automation is gonna take a lot of, just a lot of work, because this little box right here, is basically catching all the information where a train is. So, yes, it's still technically the block system, but the blocks are way smaller because every single node is like, this train is above me, this train is above me, train is above me. So, you have a system that constantly sees, okay, this is where all the trains are in real time. And this is why you can actually, maybe achieve the goal of running a subway system. Yeah, this is the Hamburg subway system, by the way. This is like one of the newest stations. Running trains at 100-second intervals, which is ridiculously fast. Because this is the idea of automation. Having, this is the goal of automation, to have the fastest frequency you can have in a train system by basically checking where a train is everywhere. The trains need that system installed, by the way. And then you still need good software, because as long as the system is basically completely isolated, okay? It's simple. You basically have one line, and the system is like, okay, train goes down one side, then turns around at the end, maybe in a loop, so you don't even need to do like the, a typical, you have to change direction and then back up onto the other rail system. You just pull it into a loop, and it's just a very simple loop system where they, feed them out on one end and feed them in again on the other end, and it's very, very simple. So like a current computer program can easily do this kind of automation. As you said, this is the case of Miami. It is completely closed off. It is grade separated, and the system basically knows always where everything is, and doesn't even need, the really exquisitely, timed stuff, because the Miami monorail is also not really that, fast, and not many trains are on them, so you can automate them. We automated those, people movers a long time ago, actually. It was one of their main features that they were, actually grade separated, but this right there, if you have it in a system where you have, you have to control crossings, you have to control where you can move from one railway to the others, like split off and such. I don't know how it's called, by the way. If anyone
Switch?
knows it. Switches, yeah, you have to control switches. You have to have a constant knowledge of where every train is. This is the basic, knowing where every train is at every time, even only for trains that run at 100 kilometers per hour or sub 100 kilometers per hour, is a shit ton of just it's just a shit ton of how's it called? Just computing power that you need. There. Go away. Going inside. Stupid things. It's just a shit ton of computing power, which we only now really have, actually. Keep that in mind. It's just, you need a shit ton of computing power. And even then, you will see still, humans drive for the most time, because the only thing that reacts faster than a computer, actually, consistently, by the way, is a human. Because people are like, oh, but the reaction time of, PCs is potentially really fast. It is. The problem isn't the reaction time. The problem is the interpretation time. When a human sees something like, oh shit, because we can just see danger. A computer has to first, actually be like, is this danger? And they're not good at that yet. And in any system that is not remotely closed off and totally simple, that's gonna be a problem. Not unsolvable. Again, I actually can see that in the next, in the next decades or so, that the subway system in the city will actually be automated. Because, like, there's a lot of stuff that you could even, that you still need to do to make it, just more workable. Because, for example, one of the main things that you need also is just, and you're going to do that on the newer lines, is platform screen doors. I know nowadays they're used for a lot, but the thing is, if you want to automate your railway system, this is just kind of important to have, because you just need to block people from just throwing or walking onto the system, But here's the thing, as I mentioned earlier, when people automate cars, they will want to have fences around when they automate that, the industry will demand to have fences around, for example, the streets. Why? Because simple as that, this just makes the automation runs more smoothly. With trains, it's a lot less that is getting blocked off. You're not supposed to go on the... Like, that's the main difference. You're not supposed to go onto a railway line as a normal human being. You should be... Yeah. The streets should be used for foot traffic. They should be open to humans. With a railway line, building a fence... who cares? It's a railway line. But with streets, no. But yeah, here, doing like platform screen doors and all that, easy, You can easily do that. Much better and much more, acceptable to humans. So yeah, automation for trains. It's like this is the one type of automation that is actually coming. And, not that a lot of stuff is already automated. Like, for example, I think the Shinkansen is actually running on GPS tracking since the 60s. Or like the 50s? I think they built it. Like, think about that. The Shinkansen already had speed regulations and a certain degree of automation where a lot of European countries were only phasing out steam engines at that point. To that point, steam engines were very reliable and very good, but just pointing that out, that this technology is old, and also the Shinkansen runs on a closed-off system, so literally the railway, Japan has narrow gauge railways. They build narrow gauge railways. They're smaller than the normal European and American standard railway gauge is. While the Shinkansen, they literally built they built a whole new system with a different, with a standard gauge railway for it. So there was no way the trains could even work with each other, because completely different railway width. So yeah. That's train automation for you. But actually, let's go back. We are, let's show off the Minecraft server a bit, shall we? Because we haven't been in here for a long time. And we will hopefully, and I just saw, oh god, Beyond announced his new game. So actually, if you like boomer shooters, I think I can officially say this now. It's not live, and I don't know if it's on Steam live yet, but maybe be on the lookout for Final Absolution, made by a cool guy that sometimes is in these streams, and it's pretty cool. So, and he describes this as our next game is Dead Space, but in GZ Doom. So, you know. So support indie games, and especially support the one game I will shill relentlessly because he deserves better. I don't want to tell his story, for him,
Yeah.
but what?
Yeah.
He got fucked over by his old publisher.
What
So
did you just say?
just a rough overview.
That's the story, though.
Okay, yeah. So let's go to the beginning again of the server. Let's see what changed. So I think at the start nothing, not much changed. Oh hey, is the map updated? I think not yet. I think there's the friend cube of friendship again still. So yeah, we're at the beginning. Hey, there's still a Tomu Nexus.
Is it still organized, or have people fucked it up again?
I have no idea. We should take a look inside actually.
Yeah, if you stop doing stuff
Yeah,
outside of the game.
sorry. I need to just look at it, a bit of stuff. It is still organized.
Except for 3, what is that?
Why is there
Phantom
Phantom Membrane in there?
Who knows?
Anyway,
it
Tomu
could be
Nexus. Oh, the enhancement deluxe. Ooh. Someone upgraded the Tomu Nexus. The farm is also still going really well. Perfect. Our wonderful bridges are also still here. Like, oh yeah, we built some nice bridges last time. That was months ago.
By the way, I'm going to call it for the night.
Oh yeah, have a good one. See you
Night.
around.
Night.
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 Bye.
Yeah, Alexistopia is still here. Oh yes, the public sheep. You can use it to get wool.
Who would have guessed?
Haha. Oh, the Casa de Brick is it done or more done?
The outside is, and so is the balcony, but the inside very much not.
Yeah. Ha! Not that someone else needs to. Maybe this year, if we keep it
Yeah.
running.
Like the balcony is finished, and I'm quite proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything else no.
Yeah, the library is still very cozy. Yes, good flag representation. The whole server is walkable, and if not, we have public infrastructure. Or was it you can get to Ohio? How did he call it again? You know what? I'm just gonna fly around. How is it? How's it done again? Game mode, creative. Yeah, there we go. Let's just have it a bit easier, Let's look around. So yeah, still everything fine here. Yeah, it's so funny. They basically put in the cherry trees, and everyone started using them. Obviously. So yeah, if you're wondering, if you are on the Discord server and in the community, this is just a small server we have running, and some people still use it frequently, and it's a survival server. The whole thing is just don't grieve and just build something, and don't interrupt other people's builds. Just be nice, Just a nice server. Yeah, it's our witch house here that we still need to work on.
Yeah, it's not finished.
There's an egg now.
Egg.
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 And the froggy.
Also Remu.
What?
Also Remu.
There, we will get to that. So, yeah, the spawn border. Yeah, Paul put his logo down. Look at that weasel. It will bite you.
Good.
I mean, he's basically the shout out to Paul. He's basically like the person that still does the most on the server.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, keeping a lot of stuff alive. We should definitely go back and maybe maybe someone will build here. That would be nice to fill it out. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some people on the server. Oh, there's a rabbit statue. Benui. Oh, there's a Benui statue now.
Benui!
Benui! It's cute. That's great, actually. So, what do we have back here? So, oh yeah. Right, he talked about that. Damn, that's impressive. We were like, maybe flooding this and we didn't know what to do. But he really put in the work. Holy shit, this is looking great. Still mimicking a bit what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. The public enhancing thank you. Oh.
I haven't counted if that's the right amount of bookshelves, but yeah.
It's still very well done, I would say. That fits nicely. What do we have here? Spawn village like the sewer. Oh yeah, we have a sewer system. That's nice. And oh, is that a skeleton horse?
Yep.
Why are there skeleton horses in the game?
That's a rare spawn, basically.
Been in the game for ages, yeah.
Wow.
Zombie horses too, I think.
Wow, I didn't know that, actually. I didn't know. Oh yeah, right, the market hall where I think it was just like, you can put in stuff and just take it again. So, a big trading, trading, put overflow stuff in it. It's a nice idea. It's really nice. Put a lot of work in it. That's lovely. That's really lovely. Maybe needs a bit of work, but yeah. So what do we have around here? So we have the egg. It literally, you know what? It should surprise me that it's actually called the egg. Should I pull him in and be like, hey, let's talk about the egg? Why did you build the egg? But, what is in the egg actually? Oh, damn, we can go into the egg, sweet egg. It's the egg. You are here. I just... Is it wrong? Was this whole thing built for this joke?
Maybe.
It's not a bad joke, it's actually a really good one, but like... Damn. Yeah. Yolk. Yeah. And I guess you can live in the egg. I have nothing more to say. It's the egg. It's actually very spacious and well designed. So yeah. Built after by oh yeah, both of them did. Good work. Good work, actually. The egg is like okay. I was like, oh, it was the beginning like, oh, it's just a neat sprite, and then like, oh no, it's bigger. You can go in. It's like, it's just this is it's a practical joke. It's a good practical joke, actually. Oh, okay. They placed I don't hate this. They placed how's it called? Bees beehives in front of our house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it. It doesn't considering I didn't know what to do with this area for a longer time, I don't hate this. Then there's the she gets drunk and eats all your money donations now. Hakurin with the Shrine Maiden of Paradise. Yeah. She gets drunk and eats my money, eats all of the nations. I guess it is the big Fumo Raimu Shrine. And
It needs a donation box.
and oh yeah, right. We have Zep has still not built something over here. We have the gateway. We have the lighthouse. Well, that's still stuff there. But this one is new. Let me guess. This is da, 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 da. Ah yeah, the bed spawn chunk border. They made a tower around it.
Enderman.
And there was an Enderman in here. I will not touch this because it is very funny. You know what? They really put in a good amount of work. So yeah, that's I guess our spawn chunk border towers are now more visible. I like that they're more distinctive now. So that's something. So that is that. Let's go into the sewers and see if anything changed there. Whee! We're in the sewers now. Witching Woods and Market Hall. Oh yeah. You know, if you have a boat, it's basically also a fast travel system. Wait. Whoop. And they're still planning on expanding it. Yeah, oh yeah, we have a sewer system now. Hope everyone enjoys it. It's the lighthouse. Oh yeah. Oh, we're in nice caves. Neat. The friendship tower is coming up. Okay, this is nice. This is nice. This is nice. Making, you know, hitting an amethyst and just going through it. That's neat.
Yeah.
So, anything that happened at the... Oh yeah, the friendship tower is over here. Ah, well. Whee. I wonder if the sewer system will be expanded when they... bits. They have some parts, I guess. And I guess we are at the friendship tower. And let's go up to the friendship tower. There it is. Oh, they built a ship now. That looks nice. Ah, yes, the friendship tower. With, an underwater base. And, okay, so there's a pyramid here that is new. And there it is. There's the cube. It's still there. Still as cuboid as it was before.
The cube of farming. Looks like.
Cuboid tower. Yeah, like the cube is here. And it's still empty. I think he wanted that you know, that people can build inside of the cube. So, you know, to fill it out with something. Maybe we could do that like as a project for this year. If we keep this server running, that would be nice, actually. So, yeah.
Fill it with a nested series of smaller cubes.
I mean, you know what? You can do whatever you want with it, and obviously
make it a Matryosh cube.
More cubes. But they have a house here now. Okay, free shelter. Oh, nice. There's free shelter. You know what? It's free shelter, yet let's actually use it. And the rain is also gone. So you can now go over here. I don't know where this road leads. Just want you to follow it. I think this is not built yet. Oh, back to the spawn. Oh. Huh. They've been at work. I don't know what Ruben built here, but Ender stuff. What's over here? Oh, that's also new. The aquarium?
Oh, you're right, because we built a farm.
Oh. You built a trading house? What?
No, why not?
Oh yeah. This is genuinely painful to be in. That's a lot of
Huh.
But yeah, since we built the thingy,
Yeah,
the ocean monument stuff.
right. Also we have the bridge. Nice bridge. And
Very
the
pretty
shrine that obviously goes to the Nether. Fortress Route 0. Utah! Oh, Weasel Route 0. Friendship Route 0. We still need to figure out which one of those is, but yeah, this one is going to Utah. So let's see if Utah is still Utah. Meow. Oh yeah, we built a Nether Portal Highway, so... And welcome to Utah.
I think that way is the way to...
I think it is as well. We didn't really map it out yet, so... Maybe we'll do it one day. Who knows?
So, are you done with trains now?
I am long done with trains. I haven't just...
Okay. I played Mechabellum and I won in a funny way, so...
So what do you want to talk about?
I wanted to say that I gave it some thought because in several streams we had it already that we both have our problems with lots of fictional media making like pretend German places.
Yeah?
Sometimes because the names are just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like calling a forest is not generally how it goes.
Yeah.
Or calling something size. Forest called size
Yeah.
also doesn't make sense. But here's the biggest problem is they're going to medieval German but fantasy often, okay?
Yeah, the train.
And they're missing the original local naming sense Germans had, or people in the general German cultural sphere, because there's nothing called Porinne or Arschkrampe. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, so a lot of old German, names where names of places were either about stuff that
Stuff that is there, like
That
for
is
example,
there?
if you found gold, it was often called Gold River or Golden River or something along those lines.
Yeah, that's by the way, so like I think one of the biggest parts that we know about this is, interestingly, Bavaria, because they still had a lot of documents from how places were called, and interestingly, they were like, oh hey, there's something on this map that isn't there now anymore. Was there ever something? And then they kept finding old villages there, and
gold.
And gold, actually, yeah. They were like, oh yeah, why is it called gold? Let's just check. Oh yeah, there's gold in this river.
And then they followed those rivers to the source and found the gold and declared it's you can't mine it because there's asbestos in there.
Yeah, that's another problem. Yeah, that is one thing.
That's something that all the fantasy German worlds, German fantasy worlds, however you want to call them, that's the really unrealistic part.
Yeah, and also,
That people aren't calling their local places weird names.
yeah. Also, a big thing, a really big thing actually, is just the fact that a lot of naming conventions were just simply very vulgar, you know? Like, Germans have a very... We kind of have a dark humor to everything. So yeah, when for example they had like a small valley between two smaller mountains or hills, and the locals just called it ass crack basically. This is just like, who cares for them, like people.
Yeah, I'm living near Askcrack.
Yeah, it's near the ass crack, it's lit, and then like, why is it ass crack? It looks like an ass crack. You know what an ass crack is, right? So that's just how it went. Or they called a place like, there's the well, so that's that. And this was actually mapped a bunch of times, but also a big thing that happened is that, for example, in Bavaria, they basically, because of inheritance shit, basically a Wittelsbacher, when it became a monarchy from outside, more southern Germany, not southern, but like, around Mannheim and shit, more towards France, took over, and they cartographed it. And when they went to the locals, were like, hey, how's this thing called? And the locals were like, ass crack. Then the officials were like, we can't really name something this vulgar on official documents. They did before, but they were like, we can't do that. So actually, a lot of places nowadays have names reassigned to them by people who were like, we can't be that vulgar, right? So yeah. It's just one thing. Yeah, if you write fantasy locations, you need to keep in mind, why do people call things something?
It's like one thing that especially the German cliche of calling everything like they see how it is, and that's what they call it, but that's what many people did, so that part they often get right, but then everything else, it's often
Yes. But it's also usually a bit too simple. Like, sometimes it's a bit too simple. Like, Germany is a very compound language. Like, for example, things are called, for example, we have still a very famous stuff is Schwarzwald. Why is it called Schwarzwald? Black forest, dark forest, or, more accurate, it was not the black forest, it was the dark forest.
Yeah, that is more what is meant.
Yeah, because that forest region was just really fucking dense and dark. So, everyone who lived on the border was like, yeah, that's the Black Forest. It's dark in there. It's a dark forest. So, compounding, it's the attribute and what it is, and voila, you have the German language. So, if you ever were like, I want to write medieval German fantasy, keep in mind, it is usually, you need to have, like, it's usually an attribute of the place combined with, what is there, for example, and even then, keep in mind that names change over time. Like, for example, I've come from a city called Homburg, and you're like, okay, what does it came from? It came because, like, at this place there was the Hohenburg. So because it was a castle, and later what Burg is castle, and the first one, Hohen, means it's high up. So it was just the high up castle, because it's it was on a mountain. So the Hohenburg then, because dialects and stuff, just got flattened into Homburg, and that's where we are now. It even gets funnier because you won't guess why a city is called Zweibrücken. Literally two bridges. Guess
because
what?
The third one fell down.
What?
Because the third one fell down.
Yes! Or it had two bridges across a river. Oh, another.
Also-
What?
You'd think that the Schwarzwald was named because the forests are so dense, but actually they just named it after the cherry pie.
Also, another fun thing, if you're like from the same region, there's also a city called Neunkirchen. So 9 churches. Guess where that came from?
Because the 10th one burned down.
Yes. But also keep in mind, one of the biggest things you need to always keep in mind is the fact that sometimes things are just called similarly, but aren't meant. Like,
Yes.
I had one in mind, and I wanted to point that out, but like, I actually forgot which one it was.
Go ahead when that happens.
Like, I mean, kind of a known one, at least here. It's like there's a thing a lot. Some people eat. It's called Fleischkäse. So basically, if you translate it literally, it would be meat cheese. So what? But actually, Käse is basically just a very, very flattened thing from another dialect word. Basically called body, like loaf. It was more a loaf thing, but like dialects flatten over time. So, and you have the same thing with town names, like things flatten with time. So, yeah, some are simple, and some are not. So, and also, never forget, have sometimes two names for a place, because sometimes, as in the case, for example, Munich, things are getting named out of pure spite. Because remember when I talked about the whole thing that the Wittelsbachers took over because of the new Wittelsbacher took over because of inheritance lines? Yeah, that guy didn't like being in Bavarian Munich because he was like, it's a backwater country, which was at the time to a degree, and the Bavarians were like, fuck this noble dipshit, just being like, oh look, I'm from Mannheim, and like they hated each other. But the guy was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to rebuild Munich as one of the great cities, and like I'm giving it a big new gate, city gate, and I'm making like a big new marketplace, and he called it after himself. It's the Karlsplatz, which is officially still called to this day. Except by the locals, there it's called Stachus. So if you're ever in Munich and hear Stachus, and you wonder why is it called Stachus by basically everyone and even the subway station, the answer is simple. The locals of Munich hated that guy so fucking much, they refused to call the marketplace he built by his official name and just named it after basically the one guy having a tavern at that place. That's right. There was a tavern keep. They all, locally called him Stachus. And this is why the whole place is called that way. To this day, it's just, they just refuse to call it any other way. The people of Munich, no, they didn't let that die. They just hated the guy and they refused to call it what it was. History is fun. And there's a lot of great stuff in there. Oh yeah, also an interesting thing about, for example, etymology being similar, for example, or, having different origins. There's a Bavarian city called Regensburg. So if you nowadays translate it literally, it would be Rain Castle. Sounds depressing, right? But also, it didn't really rain there all that much. But one of the key things is that city was actually very wealthy. Okay? Because a lot of, there was a lot of gold in that region that got there. So it was actually famous for its gold. So one of the reasons why I think it's called, it could be called Regensburg is that it maybe was Regensburg. Reigen as in fortune, It was the fortune castle. But Reigen and Regen is very close etymologically, and, the more you say something casually, the more it gets flattened. So from Reigen became Regen. So suddenly the meaning changed from fortune to rain. Funny that, right? Oh god. So much talking about etymology and history now. This was to show off the Minecraft server again. Anyway, hope you liked this little look at the Minecraft server and talk about automation of trains and names and of German names. So yeah, if you want to write realistic, German fantasy names, just keep some stuff in mind how it developed, It's actually kind of fascinating and would probably make for a lot of fun. It would make for a lot of fun stuff. Like, actually, I think the etymological parts would make a lot more sense if you actually know a bit about German words and who which sound similar. That could where you could be like, oh, this got flattened into another word. You could definitely if you play around with language and dialects in a fantasy world, especially if you do it like in German or such, which was very much a compound language, so it's actually very easy to do that here. You could remember how fantasy likes to have they like to have how's it called? Prophecies. That that you could have a prophecy where just around the halfway mark everyone realizes, shit, the meaning of the town changed, because they maybe only started to talking to a few locals who were like, yeah, I heard in old times the town was actually called that, and everyone's like, oh, yes, that makes sense. Etymological drift, fucking up a prophecy.
Is that the right word for it?
Etymological change. I think that etymology is the
Etymology.
etymology. Yeah, it's about the words, the
I-
language. It's about
I
language.
would Google it at that point. Lena's probably right, but the pronunciation is definitely off.
The science of language.
Yeah.
The thing is, this is actually, it would also be kind of an interesting thing because like prophecies and stuff, yeah, they kind of get slightly changed and adapted over time. That's true, but ironically, meaning wise, prophecies usually stay pretty similar over like a longer time frame than names. So actually, you're making stuff like the names changed, so the context changed. It would actually be a lot more realistic than people read the prophecy wrong. No, the prophecy is still largely right. It's just the whole context changed in the world because people live their lives. So that's just a little bit of writing advice, and God, this one is one hell of a stream right now. Do hope you enjoyed this though, and again, I know he said already, it's not yet on Steam. But since he officially announced it now, I just want to put it up on stream so you can see it. There you go. Final Absolution. When it's approved by Valve, which it probably is soonish or so. If you like boomer shooters, wishlist on Steam. Yeah, Beyond made fantastic game before, but I won't recommend that now because reasons again got fucked over by the publisher, so he won't make money from any purchase. So his new game, Final Absolution, if you like boomer shooters, if you like some horror, if you like all that stuff, give it at least a wishlist. Like wishlist, very important on Steam. So yeah, getting some of the shills out here.
Also not sponsored.
It's not sponsored. I just do this out of literally, this is not sponsored. This is just an ad I want to make because I like the guy and I like his previous games. He's also doing Storm Chasing if you like that, but other times. So yeah, thanks everyone for staying here and taking a look at the Minecraft server. Hopefully we can build a bit more on it, this year. It seems like we will actually continue it, so maybe we'll get some more players on. Maybe we'll have some more stuff. And the next time we update it, there's just more to talk about and maybe play a bit on. So yeah, have a wonderful night ahead of you, everyone. Stay healthy, stay safe, and yeah, sleep well. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.